What is problem solving in programming? So whenever you see programming contests or whenever you appear for a coding interviews, one thing that recruiter or one thing that companies expect from you is the problem solving ability. So everyone talks about problem solving before placements, and you might be confused and wondered about what actually is problem solving and how to master this problem solving. So problem solving is simply the name itself. It is quite clear that you need to solve some problem. You need to have the mindset which is ready to solve any kind of problems, and that is what companies expect. Because what software companies in general do, they solve the problems of the world. They solve the problems of their clients, and if it's a product based company, they solve the problems of the world, and that is what they require people with problem solving mindset. So how you can become a better problem solver? So it might be programming or coding thing. You appear for some coding contest, you can call it competitive coding. So they will give you some problem, they will ask you to solve, and they will hire you based on how efficiently you are solving a problem. So how to master this mindset? Even though you appear for coding interviews, so you will be asked to solve some problems. So in this video I will suggest a 4-step roadmap that will help you to understand the problem solving, and that will help you to crack coding interviews or whatever the job it might be. 4-step mindset is all about analyze, plan, implement and improve. So these are the 4 steps that a problem solver needs to follow while solving coding interviews or while solving coding challenges, whatever it might be. So analyze. What analyze is, like, if you see a problem, you need to understand what the problem is. So before understanding the problem, if you directly jump on to solve that, it will not work in that way. Even during interviews, even though you fail to solve the problem, but the way you understand the problem, the way you explain that to the interviewer will really add so much of weightage to your profile. So that is the reason why you need to understand the question first. So it is the analyze phase, and the second step is plan. So you now understood what the problem is. Now you need to plan how to solve this, how to solve the particular problem, how to find a solution for it. What are all the different possible ways that you can present so that you can solve that? So it is something very important. So it is what we call algorithm phase in general in programming. So you need to write an algorithm, you need to write a step-by-step plan, like how I am going to solve this problem. So it is also an important thing in most of the interviews. If you present the plan well, then most of the interviews will not ask you to write the code, because they want someone with problem solving ability more than good coding knowledge. So that is the reason planning phase is important. You understood the problem, you need to figure out how to solve this, what are all the different possible ways. Even though that will not work out, but the way you present the plan always give you good weightage in that interview process. You understood the problem, you know how to solve that problem. Now the other thing is implementation phase. Of course, implementation is not something that interviewers look, because they know, like, if you know how to solve, if you have that mindset, then you can solve it anyway. So implementation can be done by training. Let's suppose you are implementing a solution with your coding knowledge. So anyone with good coding knowledge can implement if they know how to implement. So if they know the plan, if they know how they are going to solve, anyone can implement it. So it is something which can be achieved by training. So if you have trained yourself in a programming language, then you can implement using that programming language. So implementing is something which is a third phase, and it is what the real world solution looks like. So the way you implement will tell you how your solution works. And the final important phase is improvising. So you know the plan, I mean, you understood the problem, you have a plan, you already implemented it. The last step is go back and look, how can I improve this more? How can I make it more efficient? It is something that is also important, because efficiency is something that calculates the cost. So even a little bit, even a 0.1% efficiency, even if you can achieve 0.1 efficiency to the existing one, you can save a millions in the real world. So that's the reason why improving the existing solution is also an important thing. These are the 4 steps that you need to remember to be a good problem solver. Even in the interviews, if you follow this mindset, whenever a question is given to you, instead of just jumping on to solving that using code, just try to understand the problem, just try to give a plan, just then you need to implement it, even though you fail in implementation phase, but if you succeeded in analyze and planning phase, then there are more chances that you will be hired. But it depends on the practice. The more that you practice, the more you will become efficient in cracking those kind of problem solving interviews and problem solving challenges. It is applicable to challenges as well. If you understand the question well, if you plan in a very good way, then you can implement it at any cost. So these are the 4 steps that one need to follow to master the art of problem solving. I hope it would be helpful. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you are a new visitor.